Okay, I found this location. Here, first of all, my science brain is telling me what is going on. What's the story that's happening here? We've got this tree in the center that obviously is dying. And as it's dying, you get all those beautiful textures on it. What's living in there? You've got the mosses that are taking advantage of the fact that tree is dying. And you've got this circle of other small trees that are probably being fed by that tree as it dies. It's producing nutrients that are going back into the soil. And then you're surrounded by this lovely ring of ferns, even though they're pretty flat. But this is a circular arrangement that I'm seeing. And you've got these vertical trees around the outside. Okay, my art brain is telling me what's going on here. Textures, shapes, color. You've got this green, and then you have the reds that from the leaves and the oranges. And that's what I'm seeing. Lines, textures, colors. So what things am I thinking about when I'm composing this image? I have on my iPad screen my rule of thirds grid, and that's going to provide me with some guidelines about where to place things. What am I choosing to put in the photograph, and what am I choosing to leave out of the photograph? The trees on the outside are going to provide the structure for the two vertical lines, and the ferns are going to provide the circle around the base that will be the bottom horizontal line. So let's take the photo and let's look and see how it looks. So I've got the two trees on the outside lines, and I have the circle of ferns on this bottom line. I may, although I like this may need to be excluded. So I recompose and I take another photo. Okay. So this time I concentrated on putting the ferns along this line, but I took out that small rhododendron plant at the bottom. And I think this is a better composition because that plant was distracting. The trees on the outside are still on those outside vertical lines. Okay, so I'm in the woods here, and it's fairly dark. But what is magical about this is that we have these bands of light coming across the path, which add some interest. They make the textures on the path highlighted. The trees are curved, and we've got some lovely branches hanging down that all help. So in this, the first choice I need to make is to go with a vertical rather than a horizontal. Go with a horizontal rather than a vertical. And this way I can get more in. I really want to get this tree going in here. So I'm going to put that tree right at that point. The path curves around, so it leads my eye in from this line up through. So I'm going to take this photo. So what I'd like you to do is find 5 different compositions. You can choose to do them horizontally, or you can do them vertically. Choose how you are going to make that photograph with the leading lines, the rule of thirds, and what kinds of things are going to be happening with your science brain, and what kind of things are going to be happening with your art brain. Choose colors, choose textures, choose shape, and then think about the story that might be going on in the image that you're looking at. What is happening as far as the science is concerned? So I'm looking at the building here at the Bascom, and I've chosen again to go with a horizontal view. I have to make some choices. because the sky, although it's a lovely blue, it's kind of boring. There's nothing going on. So I don't want to have a lot of the sky in the picture. I don't want to put the building in the middle and have half sky and half grass. So what I'm going to do is bring down the iPad so that the building is sitting on that top horizontal line. And I've only got a third of the photograph will be the sky, because the sky is just not interesting. I've got a lovely path coming in here and making my eye go from this corner all the way through up to this crosshair on that third. The other fence is also bringing my eye in. So I've got some rocks here and I've got the fence, and they're going to be on that line also, crossing this crossbar and that crossbar up there. I've included the tree and I'm going to take my photo. Now what I'd like you to do is try to find a composition where you are using those horizontal lines. Use the horizontal lines and make a choice. Do I include this much sky or do I include this much sky? So take the horizontal line up to 1/3 or take it up to 2/3. Because if the sky is interesting, you want to have more sky. And if the ground part is more interesting, you want to have more ground. So find a composition that allows you to use the horizontal lines and choose more sky or less sky.